Greetings, folks. This is volume 2 of Coco Smooth Obscure Comic Book Previews. And as in the last video, I promised that I would show the graded versions because I remember at the time I felt like there was something missing, and it turns out that I graded one of these that were not in the original pile that I have, right? And I also talked about how I totally thought that back in the day that I thought I took good care of my comic books, only to find out that wasn't necessarily the case. Okay, so oh boy. So here's the deal. When I first started getting really slab heavy, which was around 2017-ish. Yeah, 2017, I believe I got this slabbed. Because 2017, 2018, one of them days. It was just, I just got real slab happy, and I just felt like every single one of my comics should be preserved in a nice slab. And I went through CBCS this time because unlike CBCS does signature verification. The video I'm about to show you, as much as I'm such a huge advocate for both CGC and CBCS, they can make mistakes, and if I only had the time to communicate with them, I should have communicated with them to tell them kind of like the errors that they needed to fix some things. But at the time, I was just so disappointed with my grades that I couldn't be bothered to talk to them about the mistakes that they've made. And I'll show you starting with the very first book. All right. So CBCS, I believe, stands for Comic Book Collecting Services. It's their label right here. This is their standard blue label. This is a 9/6 white pages. I love it. It talks about how, who did it when it came out, 95. But here's where they messed up. Clearly signatures here. I think they got this mixed up with another book that wasn't signed. But yeah, that's a clear error on their part. And again, people people can make mistakes. I'm not trying to crucify anybody or anything, or say that their services are bad. No, I talked to these guys personally. They're cool. I'm sure they can fix this. Not a big deal. But again, since the comic really isn't worth too much to be, to focus that much, waste any more time and effort to especially with such a low grade. 9.6 for me. There's just no point in grading a book unless it's 9.8 modern, for anything in the modern era. All right, so that's basically 80s and above. Now, there are some books that are just worth so much money that people are willing to pay the 9.6 price versus the 9.8 price, because the prices can be too steep. For example, Deadpool #1, which was going for 8 to 1,000 at its peak, and the 9.6 was more reasonable, around the 400 range. So we were like, yeah, you know what, 9.6 doesn't seem that much more messed up than a 9.8. But yes, as you can see, their signature is here, and that I could talk to those guys. Maybe they'll work something out with me. But again, the book really isn't really worth it to go through all the trouble, at least monetarily speaking. All right, I showed you guys issue 2 last time. Look, this ones were signed, and this is the red label. The red label shows, for back in the day, CBCS does not do red labels anymore. They do signature. Their signature verification is going to be in a yellow label, because people argued that when they see red, that it's trouble, like there's something wrong. Man, I don't know about all that, dude. For me, whenever I see a red label, it feels to me that people paid more for it, because the price per signature is like $25 to verify. So 100, 25, 25, 25, 25. That's 100 for just one book, and it's not even worth it. This book's like $1 book to be verified, and only at a 9.2. Oh, I know. And I had them pressed and clean and everything. What was I thinking? I know. It's. You guys already saw this. You know, that aggressive look right here. Mm-hmm. And this one's not signed. See, standard blue label. You know, 9.6, not too bad. Of course, want that 9.8. You know, it's great at 9.8, 9.8. You know, CBCS is a little bit more harsh in grading, I believe. They're not as this. It's a good book. You know, I'm trying to find where it would be a 9.6, because to me it looks like a 9.8. But again, I don't really know. You know, based on that, I don't know if my grading skills are that good. My confidence in my grading has definitely been humbled upon, you know, getting these grades when I submitted them. Yeah, this was an expensive endeavor, and now I know better. You know, some things are better off not slabbed, at least for monetary. It looks good in the slab, though, right? I mean, it looks good. You know, look at this, 25, $100 just to verify 4 signatures again for a $1.25 comic book. You know, ugh, guys. Sometimes, you know, you got to do research before you just allow your excitement to get the better of you, like it did me. And here's the thing: I watched a ton of videos that told me the wise way to approach things, but you know, sometimes you get con fever, and convention fever trickles over even after the conventions are done. And yeah, I was like, man, you know what? These might have good grades. Let's see it. And it turns out, yeah, no. I'm a 9.8 snob. Yep. And yeah, it is another red label, 9.2. And I know you see this check. You can look at it glass half empty, glass half full kind of situation. And according to what people have been saying in the net, the check is basically saying it presents better than the condition that it's at. Which to me is basically telling you, like, yeah, don't be fooled by how good this book looks. It's wrecked. So I don't even know why they would do. To me, it's like an asshole check. They're like, "Oh, this is a gorgeous book. Don't get me wrong. It's a gorgeous book. It's just wrecked. So don't be fooled by its good looks." But you know, 9.2 isn't quite wrecked. But man, when it's not a 9.8, oh, it's a bitter pill to swallow. And here's the tragedy about this. Is, you know, the signatures on this one is dope. They use red pens right there. You know, both, you know, the Ortiz Brothers right here. You know, that's what's up. Right? I'm sorry for the glare. Excuse me. My lighting sucks. One of these days, I'm gonna be one of them YouTubers who actually edits and do all these really fancy things. But in the interim, I'm sorry. You guys got to deal with my growing pains. You know, issue 0. Yeah. See, 9.2. 2 signatures, and that's like $50. Oh no, 4. Oh my gosh. Another $100 book for a low grade 9.2. But it's whatevs. This is, you know, this is for display, not for sale. It's just I like the idea of having the best. And oh my gosh, this is bad. I'm not even sure how it got an 8. I mean, like the spine. Well, you know what? I'm looking at it. Maybe these guys were just looking at how many spine ticks. Yeah, you know what? In retrospect, yeah, they counted each spine tick. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. Yeah, the spine ticks were. I don't know if you guys see it, but I see it. It's like right there. See, I don't know what the hell is that thing? Because it was polybag. In my mind, I was like, how could there be spine ticks in a polybag? Remember how I showed you guys this in the last video? This was a polybag book. Well, they opened it, and yeah, I guess, you know, they showed me that polybag books, you know, not exactly. I better should have looked better. You know, again, that was a bad look. This one's not signed, and this one's at a 9. Oh gosh, dang! These guys just killed the grade in this book, but I'm trying to figure out where it was really that wrecked. Again, I'm not sure, since I don't really see too many spine ticks. You know, like I don't know. But here's the good news. The good news is when you do the barcode thing here, it kind of tells you what's the condition of the book. See, for graders, notes on this book, please visit, you know, using the QR code. See, fancy. CGC don't do that, but these guys, CBCS, they do. And by the way, this is a more older slab. Their newer slabs present a heck of a much better look than what it is, you know, that rivals CGC, or at least on par with CGC. This is not as clear. I mean, it looks good now because, I don't know, because my camera makes this thing look good, but in real life, when you see this in your hand versus the clear new CGC slab, or the current CGC slab, the CGC slab is clearly clearer. And I can't wait to get. I was contemplating getting these reslabbed, reholdered. Reholdered means basically using a new slab, a new slab on a book without changing the grade. All they would do is change the slab to the more current, updated one to make it look, you know, that more premium, crystal clear feel. But again, these books aren't worth doing that to. You know, there's just no demand for it, and so it's, you know, unless you're just really passionate about something, like I am, you'd have, you know, it's just not worth it. You know, you just have to be a real big fan to go out of your way to put a slab on a book that's not even the good grade. It's a 9.0. It's not worth it, guys. So don't do it. Guys get 9.8s unless you guys don't give a crap about grades. You just care about presentation, you know. And yeah, volume 3. I showed you guys this before. This is a 9.6. Not bad. I don't know if they dinged me on probably fingerprints. That's what I'm thinking. They do that kind of thing. All right, so here is the issue I was talking about. The one that I did that wasn't in the that was there was 2 issues that I wasn't in the original ones that I have raw. The raw copies I had. Raw copies are basically unslabbed. That's all raw means. Not in a slab, not in a holder. This has a signature for just one, for Michael Ortiz. His brother wasn't around for this one. Yeah, this was not in the original one, but you know, this is the complete set. See, Morningstar Press, and it turns out that the 3 that I had was, even though it was still Mystic, and they switched to that, they did another number 1, and this time under Morningstar Press. Look at that cover. I love it. It's not bad. Very, very 90s. Got that, you know, Latin American, Indian, Mayan, Aztec kind of thing going on, or Inca. I imagine the Ortiz brothers are of Latin descent, that Latin influence. Skulls, you know. And I believe, remember how I showed you guys, you know, I think this is where they got these two mixed up. I'm thinking that this one is supposed to be this one, because this doesn't have, oh no, scratch that, this has signatures. Shoot, now I'm kind of lost. Was it, it's, oh no. Okay, let's get back to this bad boy. Yeah, this one is the one they said that was signed, but there isn't actually a signature on this one. So this is the one this one makes more sense. I'm thinking that this one's okay, this one's the more, this is the one that was supposed to have the 8-0 and the red label because of the signature. See, Michael and Mario. This one doesn't have it. So I think this is the one that should have been switched. They're both number ones. Again, so you know, humans, they make mistake. I could see, you know, I could see what's up. You know what I mean? They just, it's all right. You know, again, I could talk to them about this kind of thing, but that's where their mistakes are. No one's perfect, but I still support this. You know, support this. Not too many other people I know are as forgiving, but I support the movement. Plus, the guy who found CBCS, I believe Steve Bohr, was the same guy who was the president and main grader of CGC anyway. So I trust him. He's been the guy for forever before he decided to create the distinguished competition for them. You know. And yeah, look at this signature in silver. Huh? Hmm? That cover, look at that. Look, it's a good look. You know, this is a variant. They're both issue ones, and one's a variant. I tried to, again, you know, in my college years, I tried to support these guys because I don't know, I was all about this movement, and unfortunately, I guess at some point the money ran dry. Comics industry was kind of sinking pretty badly in the mid to late 90s after people realized, oh my gosh, we're not going to be able to make money off of these books because they printed a gazillion copies. Well, not necessarily of these books, but you know, like the ones that were done with X-Force and Young Bloods and Spawns, all those books. And it kind of, in the industry, the speculators were like, oh no, we made a big mistake. I spent all this money on books that aren't going to be worth anything. Good thing I really didn't care that much about, you know, money in that capacity. Like I was just like an appreciator, really, you know. But it is what it is, and nowadays comic book print runs aren't nearly as dope as it used to be. You know, and look at this. This is what the raw copy. This is how I should have kept all of these books. Just appreciated and signed. And this nice Mylar would have been cheaper and presented just as well with the doggone, you know, Comic Skins backboard, you know. Look at that. Again, I can't emphasize enough how dope and firm, you know, these boards are. Pretty. I don't recommend you guys treat your boards like this, but I'm just trying to point out how firm these things are, you know. Hear that? Stiff plop. Alright, well, that's enough of this shenanigans. And again, I'm about this life, or I used to be about this life until, you know, it got too expensive. So, I don't think anyone who I bequeath this to is going to appreciate any of this. But I do. And for me, it's kind of sad. I hope that there's a strong following of people who, in the future, look at this and go, man, they appreciate this kind of 90s aesthetic which is over the top, super edgy, and clearly outdated, you know. At any rate, that's all for this segment. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.